It is Saturday, August 19th, 2023. Hi, it's Tim, doing my weekly health update. Once again, there is not a whole lot going on in terms of my eyes. Uh, the one thing that did happen this week is Tuesday was my last day of eye drops, so I begin what looks like about a 2 week break from taking eye drops. So that's nice. I've still got my alarms on my phone because I'll have to do it again when my left eye goes in for surgery, and possibly when they take the laser to my right eye. But it's nice that I don't have to use those alarms at least for a couple weeks. Feels like I get a little extra time back in my day. The other thing related to my eyes is I got a text reminder today that I've got an appointment on the 22nd, which I never scheduled. I know that they were trying to schedule my laser appointment earlier than the 29th, but I guess the office was open, but the doctor that does the surgery wasn't going to be there. So they had to bump it back to the 29th. So maybe that was accidentally put on the schedule and they forgot to take it off when they scheduled me for the 29th. I don't know. But I'm going to have to call them up on Monday just to be sure that there's not an appointment that somehow slipped past me. And if they did have an opening and they can squeeze me in on the 22nd and the surgeon's going to be there, I am all for that. I will get this done as soon as possible. I don't need to wait around. And the sooner I get to whatever my best vision in my right eye is going to be, the better. Then I can move on to the left eye. All right, so other stuff that happened this week, I did have my follow-up with my primary care provider over the phone, which was great, instead of in person. And also, things worked. I was able to fill out my forms and everything online instead of when I got to the appointment. Would have been terrible to have to go into the office just to fill out forms for a phone appointment. And so basically, the ultrasound imaging showed that the left side hernia is definitely in a situation where they should probably operate on it. The other hernias, they're still in a situation where they could just be observed. They don't need to be operated on urgently. But she decided she's going to give me a referral to a surgeon that will pick up the ball from here and, work through exactly what needs to be done surgically. And so hopefully getting me connected with the surgeon goes a little bit faster than the ultrasound, because it took them about 2 weeks to get me hooked up with the office for the ultrasound. And I just don't need to be waiting around for anything health-wise. The other thing that happened this week was I did have my iron infusion, went successful, no incidents on the way there or back. And I ended up driving all the way up to the top of the parking garage over at Bay Health, which meant a little bit more walking. So I took the stairs instead of the elevator, got a little bit of stair stepping exercise. Not really significant, but I'll take whatever exercise I can get. When my body decides that it wants to cooperate, I'm all about that. Basically, pretty standard appointment. Everything went smoothly. The iron was there and ready for me. And I'd say that I feel like I've got a bit more energy overall. It's a bit more consistent. Still not anywhere near ideal, but I'll take whatever improvements I can get. Unfortunately, there were still a few situations this week where my energy levels just completely dropped, and I was out cold sleeping for an hour or two at the wrong time. So I ended up being a bit late for a couple of appointments, missed one appointment altogether, which I did not feel good about. I worked things out. and life rolls on. But I don't like being in a situation where I don't feel like I'm dependable, and it just doesn't feel good. So my overall experience this week, um, honestly, the hernia situation is getting a bit worse. I'm at the point where at first when I knew I had hernias, I could feel some pressure, I could feel some discomfort, but there wasn't any pain. At this point, I'm kind of like at a one or two dull pain most of the time. Um, and then if things are kind of active down in my guts, it can go up to like a three or a four. So I'm glad that I went in and scheduled an extra appointment with my doctor rather than waiting a couple more weeks till my already scheduled appointment. As then I'd, you know, be waiting even longer. So I'm glad I got this process started when I did. But yeah, this week I had some rough moments, just in terms of like, not only am I feeling discomfort from the hernias more, but they're having a bit more impact on quality of life in terms of, when there's pressure on them, it really it's and just one more trigger for me to have to run to the men's room. And it really adds to the urgency and the limited control that I do have. However, what I did find is that even in situations where it felt like I should be miserable, God just seemed to bless me with a bit more peace and a bit more hope for a better future than I feel like I rationally should have had. In situations where life threw me a mess, I didn't completely just get fed up and frustrated with the whole situation. And I was able to kind of get through it a bit easier than I normally do. So life is not easy, but I feel like there's a bit more of a positive attitude, a bit more hope and peace about my situation than I've had in a long time. Maybe even since the 3 years since I first started this flare up. So I just have this general feeling that something good is around the corner. I just have to be patient and persevere, and good things are still ahead in my life. So I don't know how long that's going to be, but I'm willing to grab hold of that hope and, let it hopefully get me across the finish line to where I'm back into remission. So I guess I will close by saying that I did record an extra video. I think it's going to take some extra editing, so it probably won't go up until Monday or sometime next week. But, getting a little bit of extra content, it's going to be a bit of a health hack, health tip on, my basic travel gear so that I'm as prepared as I can be when I'm leaving the house. So, hopefully there's something useful to any of you that see this that are going through inflammatory bowel disease, irritable bowel syndrome, or other gut related issues, or, eye related issues. There's a little bit of something for both of those. Anyways, hope you all have a great week, and look forward to a healthier day in the future. Bye.